I want to welcome you here today. Hi, and we're going to basically the structure is we're going to talk a little bit about Marketing Cloud. We're going to do a demonstration of what Marketing Cloud is, talk a little bit about the Supermums training program, where you're going to have a chance to answer or to ask some questions, so we can answer some questions. We're also going to be joined by one of our recent trainees in our Marketing Cloud course, Caitlin. So I want to welcome everybody today. My name is Diane Willock. I'm a customer success coach here at Supermums, based in the US. And I'm joined right now by Sheala Vestbinder, and she is our training manager in the US and certified Salesforce trainer. Trains for our Marketing Cloud course. And we're going to just, again, go through some information in the beginning here, have a chance for you to be able to see what Marketing Cloud is, and then be able to hear from our alum and ask some questions. So we'll get started in just a minute. I think we have everybody in here today. So I'm glad to see we have a great group of people here today. I will share my screen, Sheala, so we can get started. And please do mute yourself just so that we don't have any disruptions in the beginning. And then if you have a question, you can feel free to either put it in the chat, or you can definitely unmute yourself and ask your question, but we'll have a chance at the end as well for questions. So thank you for that. So again, welcome anybody just joining us. Thank you for joining us for the Marketing Cloud Discovery session. And I am going to share my screen in just a minute. And hold on one second, because now I got to find my tab. And
Diane, while you do that, I would love everyone, if you would, in chat, if you'll drop where you're calling in from.
Yeah, that would be great.
Or state, whatever you want to do. But let us know where you're calling in from.
I'm calling from New Delhi, India.
Ah, well, you're probably in the middle of
late
the night
for you.
then.
Yeah, it's a little late for you, isn't it?
No, it's only 7:30 p.m.
Oh, not too bad. All right, let me just get so if I present this.
I'm calling from Barcelona in Spain.
Great to have you here as well.
Still not the evening.
Not quite the evening? Or it is the evening, right?
It's not. It's not.
It's probably about dinner time, late afternoon.
Yeah, dinner time.
Okay, we're just having our morning coffee.
That's right. We have several from here in the States. We have a couple of from UK. We have a couple of Canadians. So yay, that's wonderful. What a great spread of people we have. Welcome.
And I might have met some of you, so welcome, or talked to some of you. So welcome anybody that I've talked to and invited to join along, because we have been talking Marketing Cloud lately a lot. And this is a great session to learn more about it and hear from some of us who work with our trainees every day, and also hear from one of our alums. So we'll get started. Sheala, did you want to start the first part here, or how do you want this to kind of go?
You can go ahead if you want to drive the train. I don't mind at all.
Okay. Perfect. Just make sure that I can see on my screen here. So again, we are Supermums. We are a global organization providing training and Salesforce coaching, and also we have a recruitment arm here at Salesforce. Just a picture of some of our trainees. Probably this is how many trainees? I think we have over worldwide. We now have over 700. I want to say trainees that have gone through our courses. So again, we're global. We train individuals from all over the world. We are certified Salesforce training partner, and you can learn more about us, obviously, at supermums.org if you haven't already. And just a quick introduction again, my name is Diane Willock. I'm a customer success coach here at Supermums, and I am based in the US. I'm in the middle of the country here in the Midwest, just outside of Chicago. So I'm based in Illinois, and Sheala Vestbinder is our training manager in the US, and she is in St. Louis. So we're close by, but still far enough that we don't really get to see each other, right, Sheala? Let me my slide is not advancing, so hold on a second.
Sorry, I stepped away for a minute to make sure Caitlin has the link.
Oh, there we go. Oh, we were going to take a poll. So maybe just in your chat, answer the question about what's your current interest in Marketing Cloud. Let us know if you're a marketing professional interested in learning Marketing Cloud. So maybe you've been working in the marketing space for a while and you really want to add this technology onto your skill set. Are you a Salesforce professional and you're interested in learning Marketing Cloud because you're thinking about going in that direction? Or are you somewhere working in Marketing Cloud and want to have your certification? And if you're none of these, you can also just kind of say, none. And you're just interested in seeing what Marketing Cloud is all about and learning about, these opportunities and what you can do with learning Marketing Cloud. So we appreciate you letting us know. That really helps out. And Sheila can kind of take a look at those and see where everybody's at. So that might help us too, when we start talking a little bit more and diving into Marketing Cloud, we can answer some of your questions better if you are able to tell us your interest in Marketing Cloud. So of course, there's a big focus, I think, on Marketing Cloud is actually the #1 growth cloud right now. So it really is very popular right now. And there is a skills gap in marketing, digital marketing skills, really, as well as in Marketing Cloud. So it's really one of the most sought after skill sets in the industry right now. It is a leading global product. So just kind of looking at some of the leaders in the industry and what they've said about Marketing Cloud, again, it's a growing market and growing opportunity in Marketing Cloud. So the demand outstrips the supply right now. So it's a great space to be in, and it's a great skill set to have. Marketing Cloud, it really gives you that personalized experience with your customers. You get to know your customers better than you ever have before. You can personalize their journey at every moment across all social channels, and you can learn and adapt your campaigns as you go to improve performance. It really gives you data, the best sets of data to know your customers and to really, again, take that approach with your customers, that 360 view of your customers, personalize their experience, and really make sure that their journey is consistent, again, across all social channels. This is just kind of talking about, the state of marketing report, kind of highlights the key trends that were informed by 8,200 marketers. So this is just kind of some of the key trends and what's going on in the marketing world. 66% of marketers expect revenue growth over the next 12 to 18 months. Definitely, again, this digital marketing world is growing as we know it. More customers are going digital. Marketing needs to step up and keep pace with that. 90% of marketers say their digital engagement strategy has changed, especially since the pandemic has began. So again, everything went online, more engagement digitally from customers. So most organizations realize they have to do something to keep up with these trends. And thus, this is why it's becoming, important to have people with these skills, but also that there's a skills gap because it's grown so quickly and it's expected to grow so quickly as well. 75% of marketers say the pandemic has permanently shifted how they collaborate and communicate at work. People are globally now, they're all over. We need, farther reach, more outreach, more customer experiences online. So this has changed how you engage with customers. So collaboration across, again, all social channels is important. And this has shifted in the marketing world, and it's really important right now for organizations to pay attention and to make sure that they are reevaluating how they engage with their customers and what works and what's important to their customers. So this last point here, or number 4, actually it's not last, it's 4 because there's 5. Marketing is spelled data. I like this because it's true. Data empowers marketers to deliver the trusted, personalized engagement customers expect. But it's become more complex. how do you manage all that data? Marketers expect a 40% increase in the number of data sources they use between 2021 and 2022. So we're using different sets of data points. We're using more data to analyze our customers. We need people that are able to analyze that data and be an administrator of that data within marketing. So it's really important. That drives the customer experience. It drives the direction of the customer experience. So we're analyzing data more. Marketers are analyzing data more. They're looking more deeply into that customer experience, and they're, again, personalizing that journey for their customer. 70% of CMOs align their KPIs with their CEOs. So this is a little bit different because marketing is now becoming, more strategic and a more valuable part of the business. So, whatever drives marketing, it's not just sales anymore. Marketing is aligning with their CEOs and aligning with those key KPIs, and it's becoming a very huge part of the organization's goals and strategies, for the future. So that just kind of shows you, the state of marketing, why it's growing, and where the opportunities are. So Marketing Cloud, that's a digital marketing platform. Hopefully everybody is just kind of aware of what Marketing Cloud is, has seen it, maybe looked into it a little bit. You've used a digital marketing platform before. Marketing Cloud is Salesforce's digital marketing platform, and it includes these key areas. Again, there's studios within Marketing Cloud that manage the content and the specific marketing channels. Example of that is Email Studio, and then there's builders. This manages the data and the campaign automation, such as Journey Builder. So you can kind of take a look at the key areas within Marketing Cloud and what it covers. Again, here's just another graph on the products that make up Marketing Cloud. There's Journey Builder, Social Studio, Audience Studio, Advertising Studio, Salesforce Data Studio, Interaction Studio, Google Analytics, Mobile Studio, Pardot, Datorama, and Email Studio. Am I missing anything there, Sheila?
No, but they've been changing the names on us.
Right.
So the slide has to be updated.
Right.
With the
Pardot.
latest release, even.
Yeah.
Their names
I know. So
they
they like to change the names of everything. So yeah, this definitely has to be updated. So, but you'll get so we can't even keep up with the names. Sometimes because they change it all the time. So, but that's the general, and this is, generally the different aspects that make up Marketing Cloud. So I thought at this point we would do a demonstration, and Sheila's going to then share her screen. Anybody have anything that they want to ask right now, just while she's getting up the demonstration of Marketing Cloud? You can put it in the chat, or feel free to unmute yourself. And if it's something that takes a while for us to answer, we can table that until later. So just put it in the chat if you have anything or something that you want to add, and we'd be happy to come back to that in another time too. Okay. Can everybody see the screen? Yeah.
Can you see my screen? Let me enlarge it just a little bit and see if that does any good. No, it's not going to. That's not too bad. Okay, so this is Marketing Cloud. I noticed in the chat that some of you are in Salesforce already, and some of you come from marketing backgrounds. Our trainees come from both. We do recommend that you have one or the other. Either marketing or Salesforce will give you a good, just basic starting point. Now, I noticed one of you starts with product management. That would also be a good fit. The people that struggle the most, honestly, moving into the space is if you're starting from scratch and you don't have either background, like you've never been in tech, you don't have any Salesforce background, you don't have any marketing background, you've never been in sales, you've never been in advertising, any of that kind of space. That starts getting a little bit more tricky. We have people who get jobs that way, but it just makes getting a job a little bit harder. But if you come from one background or the other, or have been in that kind of techie space, honestly, people are going like this as far as getting roles. We have people get roles before they even finish the course. And so people are finding jobs really quickly.
Multiple offers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the cloud. It is a separate platform. So unlike Pardot, which currently resides on the Salesforce platform, Marketing Cloud is its own platform at this point. And so part of the course is a connector that connects Salesforce and Marketing Cloud and lets them work together. So that's part of what we learn in our course. But this is the email studio. It's very much what it sounds like. It's email. Mobile studio. Social is going by the wayside. They are retiring it. And so I would not recommend that you focus a lot of time in social, because unless you go with it, we do talk about it just a little bit in class, because some people get jobs in places that already have social in place. And at this point, if you have it in place, you can keep using it. Right now, they're talking about through the end of 2023. They haven't set a firm deadline. But it's not going to be where new positions are coming up. So don't put your efforts there. Advertising studio. Personalization just got a new name. Analytics is the report section. Journey builder, which is where we're going to go into. Content builder is where you build out all of your content. Audience builder is where you build out your contacts and your data design. Einstein is what Salesforce calls their AI. App Exchange is any third-party apps that can be used on the platform. And then honestly, this is just where you manage your packages. It's called platform, but it's where you manage your packages. So overall, this is, and then of course I'm on the home dashboard. So if I was building out a new journey, what I would have to do first is build out all of my content. So I would go into Content Builder, and I would have to build out my emails. All of your assets are here in Content Builder. And I would have to build out any and everything that I wanted to use for my journey. Okay, so in this case, the one I'm going to show you is a welcome journey. So I've got my welcome text here. Let's see what else I've got in here. I've got several things in here because I've built out several things. There's a few welcome emails that I've got structured. So you have to build here. This lets you use whatever you build in email, mobile, advertising. It lets you go across all the channels. I can build an email studio, but if I do, then unless I've saved it into Content Builder, it's only in Email Studio. If I build in Content Builder, I can use it across my channels. So I have to build first, and then I have to go in, I have to build out my data. Obviously, data comes from multiple sources, and there's multiple ways you can get it in here, including Automation Studio, which we do learn. We have 2 weeks on Automation Studio. This is called the Data Designer, and this is where your all contacts are here in the middle, but then they're linked through what's called attributes, but you can think of them as fields. So they're linked through fields, and that is how your data, basically the pieces of your data talk to each other through this Data Designer. So I have to build out my data so that it's linked. And then I go into my journey, and I can build out my journey. So basically, Marketing Cloud isn't unlike any other marketing tool where you have to build out all your pieces before you can use them, right? It makes complete sense. So here's my birthday journey that I've already started. Hey, Caitlin, you made it. So with a journey, obviously you have to determine where that data is going to come from. And in Salesforce, they use lists, but they're going the path of data extensions, which you can think of as data tables that can be linked through that Data Designer so that you can access multiple pieces of data. So I have to tell it where I'm getting my data. So I've already connected it to my data extension. And then, well, let me just hit resume so you can see. I don't want to, nope, that's not what I want, sorry. I wanted you to be able to see all the settings on the side. There we go. No, it's not gonna let me. Okay, I'll just have to walk you through. Normally I have a whole canvas of tools over here, but I've already built this one, so it's not gonna let me show them to you. So then I had to build it out. So I pulled over my wish list, which was an email that I built in Content Builder. And then you have different kinds of weights. So this is just a 7-minute. This is built for testing purposes, which is why it's on minutes instead of days. Obviously, you wouldn't probably do that if you were doing it for real, right? And then I build out whatever I wanted this journey to look like. And for Journey Builder, you can think of it as a way of personalizing what you're sending, but at a scale. So, you know, I could have 1,000 participants in here, but depending on how they're interacting with the different content. So depending on how you do this, then the people can interact with this journey at different levels. So in this particular case, I have a birthday. Happy birthday. You know, here's your wish list. Here's what you could shop from. Happy birthday. In here, we have some sort of coupon, like 10% off, right? And then again, because I'm testing, I have a 6-minute in here. And then I have what's called a decision split. And it's based on, sorry, we still have people coming in. Do you want to grab that? It is based on whether they use that coupon or not. And if they use that coupon, then they go down one path. And in this particular case, once they've used the coupon, I say, you know, thank you, and they keep going. And if they don't use the coupon, then I have a reminder that, oh, look, you could still use this. You have a couple of days left, right? And then if they choose not to, I let them go. So as you can see, this is a very basic kind of journey. There are more complicated ones. Let's see if I have my capstone in here. I might let Caitlin show her capstone. It's pretty cool. Let's see what this one looks like. Yeah, that one's a little bit more complicated. So there, you know, you can do them at all different kinds of levels, and then you can have, here's the tools on the side, because this one's not active. You can have all kinds of different flow controls is what they're called, but basically decision makers, ways of weighting that are all part of this. And the cool thing, one of my favorite parts about this is if you use it with Salesforce, it can interact back with Salesforce. And so it can update records, it can create records, it can make cases, it can create tasks for salespeople, or and when it's connected to Salesforce, additionally, people can even send from Salesforce, like non-marketers can send campaigns, can do things on the Salesforce side through your marketing tool, so that they have, you know, these non-marketers, people who still want to interact with your customers, can be able to interact with them through your Marketing Cloud. So that's kind of a high level, but it's a pretty powerful tool. Journey Builder is probably my favorite part of Marketing Cloud. It does take some planning, but it can support all of your different teams across your whole organization. And so on that note, I actually, we have Dreaming coming up. It is the global version of Salesforce's a marketing conference. I'll find the link and drop it into chat. It's free if you're interested in attending. It's November 2nd through 4th. It's all about learning and all about networking. And I will be talking about the connector on, I think, the 3rd. But very powerful tool, very useful for between Salesforce and Marketing Cloud, which is why lots of businesses use it, because you can use other data streams. It is tool agnostic in that sense. But if you use it with your Salesforce, it has a lot of power to be able to support all of your teams. So there you go.
Great. That was any questions? Definitely please put them in the chat, and we can answer them now, or we can go back and answer them later, probably at the end, because we do have one of our trainees online here, Caitlin Holland. She just finished up our Marketing Cloud course, and we wanted to hear from her. So, and you know, just kind of talk about, I guess, Caitlin, your experience with Marketing Cloud. Maybe just get a little background of, where you came from and why you were interested in Marketing Cloud. And then we'll just kind of go from there and see and pick your brain a little bit about the course and, what you've learned and why you took Marketing Cloud, I guess, and where you hope to be in that world. So welcome.
Thank you. Yeah, no, happy to talk about my experience so far. I'm almost wrapped. We've almost wrapped with the cohort I'm in with Sheila. We have one more webinar tomorrow, sadly. So me and my cohort are very, very much in the exam prep phase. But yeah, I joined the cohort back in June, right? And so my background is that I am a marketing professional, marketing communications professional. That's what I've always done. So about 13 years now of marketing and comms work, kind of increasingly technical in that space, right? Like more and more marketing automation work. Right now, my organization uses Marketo. So I was no stranger coming into this to automation campaigns, marketing automation campaigns, a kind of long tail nurture campaigns, but I had never used Salesforce Marketing Cloud before. So my motivation was to hopefully get, certified in this super specialized platform that lots of organizations use Salesforce, at least as a base, right? So Marketing Cloud is going to be something that, is hot for a lot of organizations looking to implement really sophisticated marketing campaigns. And so I was hoping that getting certified in this space would lead to, I'm a mom of two, I should say. I'm a mom of two really young girls. And in my current role as a director of marketing and communications, managing a team and stuff, my organization was, due to a combination of circumstances, okay with me reducing my hours to 30 hours a week from 40, which really has been working so well for me in my schedule. But that was not a sustainable kind of thing for where I was working at that level. And so my hope is that with this certification, I'll be able to continue this really great kind of reduced hours, really flexible work from home schedule that I've kind of already been able to create for myself, but continue it beyond my current organization. So I actually have already moved to a consultant role with my current organization, and I'm taking on some other consulting clients. But I don't think that my current, my skill set has now grown, obviously, but I don't have the certification yet. I don't think my mix of kind of certifications and experience and all of that will lend itself to continue making really good money working part-time, as well as it will post having the certification. So that was really my motivation. It's like, keep my lifestyle, keep being able to make good money and doing what I like to do, but have this kind of more niche specialized certification I can actually point to and say, my technical experience is obvious because I'm certified in, the premier leading marketing automation platform. And so that's how I got to where I am with the course. And it's been a great experience so far. Supermums is very, not only are the instructors skilled, but they're very good at kind of hand-holding you and meeting you where you are. So I think in my cohort, there's people with a lot less marketing experience than me, but then there's people who have more Salesforce experience. So people come at it from the Salesforce side. Sometimes they come at it from the marketing side. Some people are new to both, I think. And so it's a good amount of helping you along, your journey. And I've definitely had challenges in it, even being someone who's familiar with marketing platforms, because it is Salesforce Marketing Cloud. It's its own thing. It's different than other ones I've used in the past. So I think being in a training program where, even though it's entirely virtual, you really feel like you can easily connect with your fellow kind of cohorts. They have platforms for that. They've got a system for making sure you can kind of connect with your other classmates as well as the instructors is really, really helpful.
Sorry, I was still muted there.
Me too. It's like
I was like
mute button.
trying to say something. Sorry. Thanks, Caitlin. So that's great. So I think, Caitlin has been awesome, and I've had the pleasure of talking to Caitlin quite a bit. And obviously, she has been part of our cohort. Sheila knows her very well, and we really appreciate hearing from you. I'm sure there's going to be, some questions. Maybe if anybody has any questions that Caitlin can answer just about her experience and, what she felt like going through our training program and, you know, how it was helpful. What was your favorite part of the training program, Caitlin? What was your favorite learning?
Part? Well,
Yeah.
I can say my favorite kind of discovery in Marketing
Yes.
Cloud would be the journey builder. I think that's going to be a lot of people's favorite probably,
Yes.
but especially if you're used to working in other marketing automation platforms. Like I've told Sheila, I'm used to one that's essentially like a list of and/or logic, and it's how you build these like really long tail campaigns. It's very not visual. If you're a visual person, I mean, journey builder is really, really nice. It's like a drop and drag interface that really maps out the campaign in a way that you'd be able to like screenshot and share with other staff members and other people invested in the campaign really easily. So it kind of combines multiple steps for marketing professionals into one in that sense. And yeah, it's just really nice, easy to use, very visual. So easy to use once you kind of understand those drop and drag features and what they're actually doing and all of that. So yeah, I love learning Journey Builder.
I think that's a favorite, right? Of a lot of people.
Right.
But you could kind of pick and choose in there. What's your favorite area, what you like to do, and you might discover there's, you know, different areas that you enjoy the most. And that also kind of gives you a direction, doesn't it, Sheila, on maybe, you know, the type of role or job you want to get into when you're finished with Marketing Cloud, because you discover what you enjoy the most, what area you might fit in, and you know, what type of roles would be best suited for you. So is there any questions? I just want to make sure we're, if anybody has questions regarding Marketing Cloud and that training experience. I did have one question that came up, and it was from Alexa, and she asked, roles that are being offered, are they mostly contract or are they permanent roles? So I said we talk about this a little bit, you know, in our question and answer, but we could definitely talk about it now.
Yeah, let me interrupt you just right there, Diane, because you're, I want to make sure that you realize you are so on target. As you go through the course, there are certain things that in this marketing space that are really highly valuable. And so you could be someone who is a marketer and loves building out journeys, right? But you could be someone who likes configuration and enjoys doing more of the back end, and then the connector and being someone who specializes in that. But you can also specialize in some of the other studios. We have, you know, we've had email specialists who go through, who do all their stuff in Email Studio. I've had a trainee who go through, and of course I didn't teach him this because we don't do much with Interaction Studio, but his whole life is focused around Interaction Studio. There are people who just do Advertising Studio. So you can definitely find a niche for yourself based on what your interests are and what your own skill set is, right? So that is one of the great things. And like Caitlin said, you can find different kind of roles. Like you can be full-time, permanent, you can be contract. Alexa, to answer your question, I've seen both go through. I've seen permanent, full-time, permanent, part-time, contract. I think there's just so much need out there that right now people aren't really being super picky. Right. Caitlin said she was able to change her role within her organization because they need her, right? They're not going to let her go. And so, so there are lots of different roles of different sorts.
Yeah, we've seen it all. So, and again, multiple offers. I think that's the best thing too, is you're finishing up, you have that skill set. There'll be a lot of people reaching out to you. And it's just up to you to decide what's the area that you want to specialize in, that you want to niche in. And we work with you too. It's important for us to also let you know that we work with you too, to kind of find what's your skill set, what are your transferable skills, how can we get you into a role that is best suited for you, and where do you market yourself and how do you market yourself? So that's part of the whole Supermums training program as well, is making sure that you know how to market yourself and put together your package of who you are, and you get recognized and noticed for that. So that's all part of it. So any questions? I feel like we might have some questions at the end. Caitlin, I know if you have to jump off, that's fine. If you want to stay for a little bit longer, because we're just going to go through the Supermums Marketing Cloud program just to kind of show you what our format is and what you learn in that training program. And then we'll try to answer some questions at the end, and anything is up for grabs. So any question you can put in the chat as well too. So let me share my screen again and get back to.
Yeah, I want to make a question.
Sure.
I see that you work with the dashboard, but does Marketing Cloud has a backend kind of thing, like programming with Apex or Lightning kind of thing?
It does have a back end, and there is a Marketing Cloud developer cert, which actually was right on target. Good job.
Right.
So there are 4 main certifications. We train specifically for the email specialist and the admin. So the first 2 on this slide are the ones we train for. But we have multiple people who go on and get their consultancy because it's built upon the other 2. And then we do have people that go into the developer side. Honestly, I don't know a whole lot about the back end. I would guess Apex is involved. I do know, SQL is obviously strongly involved. So we do a little bit of SQL basics learning in class. AMP script is used for their personalization. But as far as a deep dive on the back end, I honestly don't know what the main language is. Apex is what Salesforce uses, but Marketing Cloud was acquired. I don't know if you know that, but about 6 or 7 years ago, it was Exact Target, and it was acquired. And so they are still, that's why there's a connector that connects them rather than it being built on top of the Salesforce platform.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Okay, great. Yeah, so just kind of continuing on this to talk about, what's your path? What are the certifications? And again, Sheila pointed out for the Marketing Cloud training program, you'll be prepared to take your Marketing Cloud email specialist certification, your Marketing Cloud administrator certification, and really go on to take your Marketing Cloud consultant. And if you want to get into development, that's also another track that you can take, another direction that you can take. But those 2 certifications in the beginning there are really the ones that we focus on, I would say, in the Marketing Cloud course. So this is just, gives you a little bit of the syllabus of what we train, and just to let you know kind of the, what our course is all about and what is the structure of our course. It covers 2 Trailhead Academy courses, Marketing 101 and Marketing Cloud 201. And our course is 14 weeks in length. You get once a week live training sessions hosted by Sheila. And they run for about 2 to 2.5 hours. Is that correct, Sheila? That's sometimes, but that's usually in length when they run, correct?
Yeah, that's right. Sorry, I was looking up Ishmael's question because I'm also interested.
Interested to know exactly, right.
They are 2.5 hour sessions. That's right. And actually, during trial org period, which lasts for a month, we have a second session that's an hour and a half. So those 4 weeks, we have 2 sessions a week.
So some of the content covered, content creation and your email marketing platform there, data management, testing and sending, automation studio, journey builder, which we saw a great demonstration of, Marketing Cloud Connect. So that's your connector with Salesforce, reporting and analytics, audience segmentation, including AMP script, SQL basics that Sheila talked about. We will go into the basics of SQL, security and administration of Marketing Cloud, and mobile studio. So those are kind of the broad-based areas that we will cover during our training sessions. And during the training, the Supermums Marketing Cloud training, really towards the end of the course, we're also going to run exam preparation so that you can are ready for those 2 certifications that we talked about, Marketing Cloud Email Specialist and Marketing Cloud Administrator. Again, we have our live training sessions that occur over 14 weeks. We have office hours. Sheila will have office hours so that you can ask questions and be able to get a little extra help. You have a cohort of individuals and peers that you can confer with and learn from. We also have access to, for 12 months, to our coaching skills course. So you'll be able to be involved in our Accelerate coaching class that happens, which is really beneficial, and coaching and career readiness as well throughout the course. So you'll have access to some of our career learning modules, as well as one-on-one coaching that are kind of referenced to get you job ready. So we take a look at your resume, your LinkedIn profile, all that stuff. We look at your transferable skills. We make sure that we are presenting you as the candidate that you want to be, and making sure that you're ready for that job search and career readiness. If you're switching careers, if you're going into a new position at your organization, such as Caitlin did, you might just maybe need some help with making sure that you are, again, presenting yourself well, making sure you have all the tools that you need to take that promotion or to take that step up. So we do that one-on-one coaching as well for you. We also do have a recruitment arm at Supermums, so you can register with our recruitment arm, and they will try to match you up with roles that are available. But you may not need those, because you might be getting a lot of people coming to you right away as soon as you're going through this course and getting certified. So our next course date is October 26th. So I just want to put that out there because it's coming up really quickly. These are when the live sessions are held on Wednesday. So they're over, where you are, maybe in the UK or wherever you're joining us from. It's 7 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. And then here in the US and the States, 11 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Pacific time. They are recorded. So this is flexible. So if you need to go and access the recording, that's fine. If you can join live, that's great. But you're going to see, demonstration of the different aspects in Marketing Cloud. You can ask questions if you join live, but just know that it is a flexible program and it can work around your schedule, and you'll be able to listen in on the recordings and watch the recordings when you can. And one thing that we want to talk about too is a Marketing Cloud, and Sheila can attest to this as well. It's very hard to gain access, right, to practicing Marketing Cloud on your own. So the best part of being a certified, a registered partner with Salesforce and training partner is that we get access to Marketing Cloud and the trial org for you to be able to practice in. And so you learn and you practice, and we get up to 4 weeks within that trial org, so that you can build out and practice what you are learning. And that's really important. It's very hard unless you have this platform yourself to be able to get in there and practice. So that's a key takeaway with our training program, is that you need to get that hands-on practice, and you have to be able to put into practice what you've been learning this whole time. So if you don't get that, you're not going to have as much experience when you get out and you go to look for your particular roles. So anything you want to say about that, Sheila, too, as well, like that part and how important that really is?
Well, personally, I think it makes all the difference in the world. One of the things that the 4 weeks, it allows us to have the connector between our Marketing Cloud and our Salesforce. So we get trial orgs for both. We actually currently, of course, we are never guaranteed, but currently we keep our Marketing Cloud past our 4 weeks, which is really nice because we can keep playing in there and learning, right, and testing and stuff. We don't keep the connector, but we can keep our Marketing Cloud. But at this point, like Diane said, because we don't know for sure, Salesforce can change things. Currently, we have up to 4 weeks with our Marketing Cloud. When we get more, we consider it a gift, and we thank our lucky stars, and we keep on going, right? But yeah, that is the way it's set. I do want to mention just on time, because
Right.
for most of you know, daylight savings time in the US is coming up, and the UK also has a daylight savings time change. Our time is based on US time. And so when the daylight savings time changes that first week, there is going to be a little bit of difference. So instead of it being an 8-hour difference from Pacific to GMT, there will be it'll be different. So you'll want to use a time clock. I mean, if you're in the course, you want to use Time Buddy or something like that to make sure that you're jumping on at the right time.
At the right
After
time.
both of the countries change, then it settles back down and it stays 8 hours difference, but it gets a little bit confusing. So
It gets confusing. Yeah, I have to deal with time zones and time changes all the time as I talk to everybody globally. It was a good question asking about the certifications for Marketing Cloud. We do give vouchers for the certifications that you take. So we do give you discounts for those because most of the certifications in Salesforce cost around $200. But Supermums provides you with certifications for vouchers for taking those certifications. So that's a good question. And another benefit of taking the course is to be able to have those vouchers. I was just going to share a screen really quick, and I didn't want it to be distracting, so I'll share again about some of the roles that we've had. Just kind of gives you a breakdown of some of the roles in the US and the UK that you can move into and your progression and the pay and salary. And this also kind of shows what some of our Supermoms have landed when going through the Marketing Cloud course. So you can just kind of take a look at this. Again, contract roles and full-time roles, part-time roles, there's a lot of variation that's available in the marketplace right now. But this just kind of gives you an idea. Again, and when we talked about before, what's going to be your favorite part, what's going to be your niche in Marketing Cloud, you'll decide that, you'll figure that out when you're taking the course. We have a number of individuals that really just like being in the email marketing sector. They like doing that. And there's a lot of open positions in that area. So you can be really flexible in that area too. I've seen a lot of flexibility in those roles as far as, remote work, contract work, and you can also move up to a pretty high level with that too. I know there's some salaries listed there, but I've also seen a lot higher salaries within that area too. It just depends on your background and what are your skills and what do you have. So just kind of take that as an average and what we've seen and know that there is definitely some room for growth in those areas as well. Just going to see. Okay. And again, next course, October 26th, we're enrolling everybody by this Friday. We would love to have you join us for that class. So if you're thinking about it, you can go to supermums.org training and you can select the Marketing Cloud course, learn a little bit more about it on your own. You can reach out to me as well. And I'm just going to stop sharing here and I'll put my link in here too, because if you want to make an appointment with me to just talk about it more and learn a little bit more about it, I'd be happy to do that and be able to look at your specific situation and see. Hold on one second. I just want to make sure. If anybody has to leave, that's fine. Don't feel bad about jumping off. Hopefully it was good information for you. But also, any questions? I want to open it up to any more questions that anyone has. I'd love to answer those questions. If it's about the course as well, you can ask that question. I did put in the chat my calendar invite. You can, or my calendar, and you can go ahead and schedule an appointment on there to talk to me. See if this would be a good fit for you. If you have any questions about that, I wanted to talk a little bit about, we talked about this in the beginning, but backgrounds, right, Sheila? We talked a little bit about who would be appropriate for taking this class. So if you're in Salesforce already and you want to add the skill set on, this would be a great class to take. If you're in marketing and you want to learn Marketing Cloud, but you're maybe from a traditional marketing background, or even if you've had some digital marketing training, but you want to get into the latest and greatest and most in-demand cloud, Marketing Cloud would be a good space for you as well. But it really depends. It really depends on the person. Yes, go ahead, Rajesh. Yes.
Suppose I were to join a company like Capgemini.
Yeah.
What kind of role would Supermums prepare me for this Marketing Cloud?
I don't know much about Capgemini as far as roles that they particularly have. If they use Marketing Cloud, it could be anywhere thing from an email specialist someone who sets up the connector, someone who focuses on one of the other studios, someone who focuses in on Journey Builder itself, a Marketing Cloud admin. I mean, there are a
There's
whole
a lot.
host of kinds of roles. Yeah.
Right. And it also depends on, just like what I mentioned before too, it really depends on what is your experience, what are your skill set, what do you bring, you know, have you been in a marketing manager role before? You could be a strategist, you could be a communications manager. It really just depends on what are their opening roles, because it's preparing you for an email. So you're preparing for those 2 certs with the email marketing specialist and Marketing Cloud administrator. So being a Marketing Cloud administrator really covers a lot of ground, a lot of area. But then depending on your transferable skills, you know, were you a product manager before? Were you in marketing? Were you in Salesforce before as an admin or doing something else in Salesforce? If that's, you know, maybe you could be going to an architect type role, or you could go into, again, you know, some type of management position, some type of implementation specialist, training. I mean, there's so many different, you know, roles that you can go into, and it really depends on what you want to do. What are your goals? Where do you see yourself? What do you enjoy the most? Do you like working with the, you know, that interaction, that connection between Salesforce and Marketing Cloud? You know, having the skill set of Marketing Cloud, I want to say that too as well, can really enhance your Salesforce career too, because being in that Salesforce career and knowing, you know, that 360 customer view and knowing about marketing can really help your Salesforce career too. So it's not just really about tunneling yourself into a marketing area as well. Having that, you know, skill set in Marketing Cloud can also distinguish you more, and help you to have, I guess, you know, some more needed skills and desirable skills, and help you in your Salesforce career as well. Whatever in consultancy roles that you're doing, it really can help you in any of those areas. So it just depends on you and the individual and what you're looking for and where you're hoping to head to.
Yeah. Just to give you kind of an idea, as we're going through this course, and I actually teach the Salesforce admin as well. One of the things I tell people is to pay attention to what you like and to what you don't like, because that's going to kind of drive your interest, right? And where you want to focus your energies. And then as we do a career building, we have career building as we go along. And then Diane does career coaching before you ever get to recruitment. And so when people start, normally they don't know where they want to go. It's when they get into the tool, they start experiencing it and start kind of learning, you know, again, what they like and what they don't like, that they start getting an idea of how they want to do it. But within the Marketing Cloud space, there's roles from data analyst all the way to configuration, right? I mean, it's so broad. I can't say, well, this is what you'll do, because there are just too many roles.
But you do bring up a good point. If there's a particular company that you're looking at, an organization that you're looking at, and finding out about what are the type of roles, you know, I talk about this in my coaching sessions too. What are the type of roles within that organization? If you're looking to be a part of that organization, would you be interested in take a look at the jobs and the descriptions and what you need for that role? So we talk about that as well. Just how do you research your roles? Where do you go to look for those roles? And how do you prepare yourself for those roles? So yeah, a lot of that does happen. And I know that I've been through a couple of coaching sessions with some of the individuals that have gone through Marketing Cloud, and probably maybe on the 3rd coaching session, we've discovered like an aha moment, like, oh, this is where you would fit in. This is perfect. This is what you should be doing. This is what you need to be focusing on. And then we just direct all that energy and focus into marketing themselves in that area. So that's important. You got to get to know yourself. You got to figure out what your goals are, what you like to do. And if you have some ideas about that, and you will have more as you work through the course, then we just put it all together.
And the certification is only based on taking the course, so you have to pass an exam.
Oh no, they're exams. Taking the course just means you pass the course. That's why Caitlin was saying her cohort is headed into exam prep. Every single one of those exams has to be taken and passed. We prep for 2. And Caitlin mentioned the cost. So most of the exams run around $200 US dollars. our vouchers are half off. Typically, the one that she mentioned right now, Salesforce is running a deal. And so that if you take one of their cert prep days, which are free, you actually get $140 off. So they're actually $60 right now if you've taken that cert prep. But you do have to pass every single exam. And the course is not designed just for exam passing. We're prepping for the exam, but we're also prepping for hands-on experience. So it's kind of a twofold kind of course.
Okay.
I also
Got it.
want to say something about the career stuff, because I can vouch for the fact that, you know, you hear in these informational sessions that it's a hot market and this is a certification worth having and all of that. But I can vouch personally that it really is. I don't have the certification yet. I just have the Supermums training on my LinkedIn, which I would definitely recommend doing for any of you that go through it. Like, as soon as you're part of the program, put it on there. So they can see I've had 3 months now or so of training in this space. And I have 1 to 3 recruiters a week reaching out to me about positions, just focusing on Marketing Cloud within their companies or the companies that they're their clients. And so it, especially if you don't have really specific hourly requirements and stuff like that, like I do. But even if you do, like, there's just a lot of opportunity out there. It is a hot market.
Okay.
Thanks for sharing that, Caitlin. I've had other trainees tell me that, and I've had people get hired in the middle of the course, but I didn't realize that was happening to you too. So good to know. Just don't leave until you got those exams done.
Right. Yeah. Right. Anybody else? And just to kind of also just to put that out there and piggyback, we do have our Marketing Cloud course, again, is coming up at the end of October, but we also do offer our Salesforce administrator training. So if you are one of the individuals that wants to kind of put those together, and maybe you've been working in Salesforce for a while as a user, but you're not certified, and you're thinking that, you know, you want to become a little bit more, you want to have a little bit more in-depth training, we will have our Salesforce administrator training going on in November. And yeah, if anybody has to leave, that's fine, but we'll just, talk for a couple more minutes here. But if you have to leave, definitely go. I know everybody's on a time schedule. It's still a working day or night, if you, depending on where you're calling us from. But we do have our Salesforce administrator training, and we have a full course, which is our ultimate course, which goes on for 5 to 6 months. Very comprehensive. You'll learn everything you need to know, foundational learning about Salesforce. But we also do have an accelerated 3-month course as well. And in that course, perhaps you've been utilizing Salesforce for a while, and you just really need to get certified. You need to have that information to take that certification exam. So we offer both of those options in November. So sometimes, you know, I talk to trainees, and it's a really good package to put together, to have that Marketing Cloud and that admin skill set together. And if that's something you're interested in, definitely make sure that you reach out to me. We can talk a little bit more about that too as well. So I just want to make sure I put that out there, and I let you know that as well, so that you know what your options are and what might be a good path for you. Okay, anybody else? It was great to have everybody on here. Caitlin, thank you so much for joining us.
I want to make a
yes.
question. Sorry.
Yes, go ahead.
What is the price of this kind of course?
Oh, Caitlin, I saw your hand raised. I didn't know if you're going to. I was like, "Are you going to answer?" So it's $2,750, $2,750 US dollars for the 14-week course.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so and the schedule, what is the schedule that you do each week with us?
So the class will run on Wednesdays, and I think we put up the time there on Wednesdays. It's going to change a little bit, right, Sheila? But it's 11 a.m. Pacific time. What was the
currently? That is 7 a.m. British time, British summer
okay
time.
Yeah, I was like, I'm trying to remember, because your clocks are going to change, everybody's clocks are going to change, but so Wednesday the 26th is the first day, and then it'll go for 14 weeks of live training sessions. I'm trying to look and see exactly when we have documented. The end date of that would be
It doesn't
Okay.
go back to back, Ishmael, just to answer your question, because
Right.
we have
Breaks.
we have Thanksgiving here in the US, so we'll be off that week. We have 2 weeks off for winter break / Christmas. And then we go into January and February. So,
Right.
but Diane can get you the mapping to let you know the exact dates.
So
Holly-
it's not intensive, no? It's not intensive, so it's long term.
It's 14 weeks. Most people put between 7 and 10 hours a week into their study time. So not, it depends on what you call intensive, right? It's not like full time.
Not like a
but-
boot camp. That's what we like to say. Yeah, it's not like a boot camp where you're there for, 8 hours a day learning it, because intentionally we want you to be able to have that time to practice it, because, and Sheila can tell you, when you get into that trial org and you start practicing and building stuff up, that's when it gets intense. And you'll be working on that quite a bit. So when you get into that phase and doing that, you'll be putting in a lot of time, and it really does help to have that spread out a little bit and to be able to work and practice in that. So yes, we do like to say the Supermums training is definitely not about a boot camp and drilling down and having you spend 8 hours, 10 hours a day at your computer. Yeah.
Holly, you're asking about mini courses. Where would the mini courses be appropriate? Do you want to answer that, Diane?
The mini courses that we offer through Supermums, I'm assuming that I think, it really depends if you're looking to, specialize in a certain area, or just know a little bit more of a certain area, that might be appropriate. It depends on your background. So I don't really, depending on where you're at right now in the Salesforce ecosystem and what you might need to add on, it might be appropriate. It's not particularly appropriate if you're starting from zero, you're starting from nowhere, or don't have that, that knowledge. So I think that's something I'd have to learn a little bit more about you first, and then see, if they would be an appropriate fit for where you're looking. But kind of more, it fits in more. People add that on. I would say individuals add that on after they've been trained in a certain area within Salesforce, and then they add those on to kind of specialize in a particular area.
Because last I knew, we only have 2. We have a Boost Your Salesforce Career, and we have a Pardot.
Right.
And so both of those work really well as add-ons, and they're not super expensive. And so that tends to be what people do, is they add it on to their current curriculum. Oh, that's awesome. That's wonderful. Yeah, feel free to reach out on LinkedIn if you want to talk more, especially about the Pardot mini course. And then, okay.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, reach out to us. That's great. Just admin by default. We see that a lot, right?
Yeah, lots of accidental admins. Okay, to answer your question, I'm not positive I'm saying your name correctly. Forgive me if I'm not. We normally get our trial org access a week 4. We do trailhead learning for the first 3 weeks, and then on week 4 is when I ask for those trial orgs. So we have our trial org access from weeks 4, 5, 6, and 7. So those are the weeks that are more intense, because we tend to meet twice a week. You've got lots of homework in your
Right.
trial org during those 4 weeks.
And Holly, I don't know if Holly's still on, or she probably had to jump off.
Yeah.
I was going to tell her, anybody who wants to reach out to me at Supermums, Diane at supermums.org, or you can find me on LinkedIn as well. So it looks like we're rounding up. And again, appreciate everybody that has joined us today. Hopefully you learned a little bit more about Marketing Cloud. And again, if there's follow-up questions, please feel free to reach out to me and ask me, or reach out to me on LinkedIn, or I did provide my link for my calendar. You can also schedule a time on my calendar as well too.
And this was recorded, and
Yes.
so it can go out to the registration list. So since you've given us your email, you can get a copy of this recording. So hopefully that'll be beneficial.
Okay, great. Well, thank you. Thank you everyone for joining us who's left here today. We
Thanks,
appreciate
gang.
it. Yeah, thanks.
Have a
Thanks,
beautiful
Ishmael.
day.
All right, see you later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.